plus tax, including SIN 3 and heavy gear oil. Stop by to schedule your next service or online at TillyHD.com. Be road ready with Tilly of Statesville.
I need some real talk. Oh, I need some real talk. Give me some of that real talk.
Today's Real Talk, the show focused on North Carolina real estate, business, and life. Monye, welcome to the end of it if you're here. I hope you had a great weekend. Hope you found something to do outside wherever you were at. I don't think it rained, right? It did not rain here. Did it rain? No, it did not rain. It was actually, I think a pretty warm weekend. Wasn't it like, it got up to like 70, 60, something. I don't know what it, like the number actually was, but you know that feeling. Like I just make that feeling like, oh wait, is spring? No, not here already. 4 seasons here locally. Probably one of the most desirable things. Maybe. I mean, people like a variety of weather, right?
3.5.
You don't think we get the deep winter? Is that the one that you think we're a little shy on?
Snow, yeah.
You want that snow?
Right.
Punxsutawney snow.
That's it.
Bill's dropping interest, I guess, for a quick second here while I'm
I'm
always doing. Yeah, you're gone now. All right, I'll see you later. All right, it's a typical Monday if you're just joining. Justin Ckezepis, who used to do real estate permanently, like that was it. That was my Monday through Friday into Saturday over Sunday, lifetime activity. That was from 2012. Till probably like last year when I bought the radio station. That's probably it was thrown as a little interrupter to it. And that's okay, but I get to still play and follow what's going on. Interesting things across the entire country in real estate right now. What a time to be alive. If you know a broker, if you know a real estate broker, pray for him. That's pretty much what you got to do. It's tough right now. The market's not dead. No way. Not even close. Not even close. The demand is outrageous right now. It's continuing to be. You got to find deals. You got to be ready. But when you do, and you got to be patient though. See, that's the hard part. Because will the next delicious golden one arrive? Everybody wants that best property. You don't want to move twice. The idea of going to short-term living in between, you don't want to do that. Some people do it. A lot of people, I mean, hey, but you don't really want to do that. You just want to get there. You want to get inside the house. You want to make it happen. It's hard to do that right now in this market because the demand is so real. The inventory is so low. Supply. Should we build a bunch of units? No. We can't handle it. Even the good intentioned folks, right? I try to be an optimist. I absolutely try to be an optimist. I don't think that when people are going for high density housing that necessarily it only has to do with the money. Not only. But at the same time, money's a factor. And they've got to be able to make some money if we're going to get this supply up. You just have to. Unless you're going nonprofit. Should we go nonprofit on some of this stuff? Should we just give it all to nonprofits? Here you go. Take this big old buku thing. How can you protect? I mean, you can't guarantee that it's going to be on the up and up. You never can in any. So you got to have a variety. You got to have public. You got to have private. You got to have nonprofit. I kind of hesitate on the nonprofit and public together like that, but you have to. You got to work together. You've got to find a way to get the supply up. Certain areas are going to happen, but some don't have the square mileage. If you think about the something like Cornelius, where the town, everybody drives through it a lot of times. You've got so many houses, but you won't see big growth on the residential side. And I've learned that recently, right? And you may have heard that said from a guest on the show. I've heard Mayor Washam say it before. It's a very interesting perspective. So how do you couple that with an area that has such high demand, the pricing continues to go up, and you got to put some supply out there to bring pricing down? Do you want pricing to go down? Who's willing to say, all right, let's stop, Bring the pricing down. Do it. We'll pull the lever. Just go for it. Did I just do it? No, because I wouldn't do that. But it's relative. If you're not trying to sell in the market right now, what does it matter? What does it matter? The only time it matters is when you go to sell. Are we all ready to sell at any point? Is that what it is? I'm going to sell. I might sell for the right number. I mean, everybody's got a number, right? You can't not have a number. If it gets too crazy and you're like, then it becomes debatable. It's like, wait a second. If an offer is too crazy, do you take it? But don't be signing these letters you're getting in the mail. If you own a house or any piece of dirt and you get these letters from these investors, don't sign it. No way. Don't you do it. I don't want you to call me and say, Justin, I signed the letter. Now I'm under contract for 14 years and I got $2 for it for being under contract for 2 years. Don't do it. It's not worth it. I don't know what this has to do with from the start of the show where I started talking about the fact that I was a broker at one point. We're going to get somewhere along the way. 844 Studio 4. You're part of the ride. You're on your way home right now, or are you just cruising around town? Maybe you cruise often. I think about that. Shout out to my truck drivers out there who keep the world going round, by the way. Really, anybody who transports things, right? I guess like pilots too. You can't say like pilots. And then also people, captains of ships. It's all relevant. It's all vital to our real estate economy here locally. We're going to look at some data to it. So we're actually going to get to some hard numbers at some point because I can just pull that up, WSICnews.com. If I click on real estate, then right there from the homepage even, you can get market reports, market data. That's the fun part. You're just wondering what's going on with the real estate market today. As a broker, that was my all-day thing, just staring at the MLS most days. And here it is. Let's pull it up, Mecklenburg County. You could do that. Anytime, WSICnews.com. You just click real estate or even on the homepage right there at the bottom, you got the market reports. Plenty to talk about as far as local projects in the market. Are there, though? Are there? There's a few. What we're seeing now, the trend is going toward buy right projects. And buy right just means there's not a necessary massive hoopla. But there are limitations with buy right. There certainly are. Some of those limitations, density. I think I saw the junker property here right here on Catawba. The trees are being cleared. Something was going on. I don't know if it's for utility. Is right there along Catawba. Now, junker property, let me refresh your memory. In Cornelius, last cycle, Jake Palillo was the developer. And he got this project approved. And those board members in Cornelius, they got ousted. Rocked. It was brutal sweeping. The people overthrew the republic. That's what we are, really, right? Like a democratic republic. I had that random thought last night. This was like, I think I got up at like 3:30 in the morning. And I was thinking, we're really a democratic republic. That's what we really are. You can't just say we're a democracy. No, we elect an individual that then charts the course and the mission and goes forward and has some level of decision making. Didn't have no decision over my day. Well, somewhere along the way, I'm sure they did. But not when I wanted, maybe some extra tortillas with my lunch. Maybe that's the great part about America. It can always go back to food. We can always just go back to food at any point in the show. 844 Studio 4, that's the number if you want to call. Maybe there's a project that's on your mind locally. How about the 77 and I-40 connection right now? That's right there, 77 North and I-40, that connection, it runs pretty smooth. I'm not mad at it. Now, they got to do the beautification part. That's what they're working on next. But not a bad ride.
Stay with us. Today's Real Talk with Justin Ckezepis will be back after these messages on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, here's the good news. It's going to be a while before we have to worry about any rain. The rest of the area staying dry for most of the work week. The partly cloudy sky today, still comfy for early February. High temperatures in the mid-50s. Back down around freezing overnight. A little cooler with low 50s on the way for Tuesday and Wednesday. Climbing back up towards 60, though, by the end of the week. And rain chances making a return by the weekend. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here's your WSIC community calendar. Merle Fest is back, April 25th through the 28th at Wilkes Community College, featuring nearly 100 performers, including Old Crow Medicine Show, Turnpike Troubadours, the Teskey Brothers, Nickel Creek, and more. Tickets and information at merlefest.org. Listen each morning to Good Morning LKN for your chance to win tickets. Mooresville Parks and Recreation is excited to bring The Great Magician Murder Mystery Dinner Theater to the Charles Mack Citizen Center, Saturday, February 10th. This is not your usual murder mystery experience. An evening of theater and mystery that will have you laughing and gasping. The Great Magician Murder Mystery Dinner Theater, Saturday, February 10th. For more info, visit ourtownstage.com. Want to attend the Charlotte Home and Remodeling Show? Throughout the day, you have your chance to win tickets. Listen to Good Morning LKN, the Home Ad Show, the News Drive at 5, and the Scoreboard. Each show gives you your chance to win. The Charlotte Home and Remodeling Show, February 23rd through the 25th. Looking for a night of bluegrass and Americana? Darren and Brooke Aldridge are coming to Kane Center for the Arts Friday, February 9th. This husband and wife team are celebrating their 9th recorded project together, This Life We're Living. Darren and Brooke Aldridge, Kane Center for the Arts, Friday, February 9th. kanearts.org. That's CAIN arts.org. Have an event you would like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
Now, more of today's Real Talk with Justin Ckezepis on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
Today's Real Talk, the show focused on North Carolina real estate, business, and life. Quick dash at the reports. Are there any changes to the pricing? Yes. How so? They went up. Real, you thought you had it. Inventory, it's getting a little bit of a climb. Maybe. Slightly. Over time. Prices are kind of just floating around. $694,000 average active list price right now for a residential property in Mecklenburg County. Let's check out some of the other ones here too. Iredell County, always a good one to look at. Iredell County is pretty big. You know what? You ever look at it on a map? It's not little. It's definitely not little. $588,000 average active list price for a residential property in Iredell County. So you gotta. Can I use some bro-nancial terms? Can I use bro-nancial? You got about 100,000 delta on that. You got about 100,000 delta. That's what you're working with there. Right, if I did the math right. Okay, a little more than 100,000. But right at it. You've also got more than twice the amount of active residential listings in Mecklenburg County than you do in Iredell County. You got just over 1,100 in Iredell. You got almost 4,000. So almost 4 times. Sorry, my math isn't even calibrating right now. So inventory, Mecklenburg County continues to be the top dog in the market around here. Interesting time to be alive. I see more cranes than I have ever seen when I look over the downtown Charlotte landscape. As I stare and gaze when I'm on 2 wheels on 77, making those curvatures around the 85 interchange, which 18-wheelers, I've seen a few flipped over the years. You got to be careful out there. You got to take that smooth. And then now 77 and 40. I like the new interchange. I'm not upset at it. 55 is going to be a struggle, I think, for a lot of people because it's so smooth now. You're going to have to set the tone. I don't like saying this, but the tone will have to be set. Otherwise, people are going to fly through there. It's nice. Good job. Good job. I will say that. I don't say that. Well, I try to say it often. I'm not like a negative Nancy. I want to see these projects succeed. I want to see our elected officials succeed. I just want ones that want to succeed, right? Should we define succeed anymore? Land use plan. How do you define a success in a land use plan? In 75 years from now, this will be the outcome. Great, I'm dead. I won't be there. You can't, there's no accountability to that. There's none. Zero. Price? Can you compare price? Do you hold the planning staff to the price of houses? Gosh. No, you don't want to do that. That would be a conundrum. One of those things that was intended for good. I think that's what I was trying to talk about in the first segment that I forgot about. The intentions are good, but sometimes things just happen. People get their hands on it. Think that way a lot, like when we think about these densities and these projects and these decisions that get made. And this also started with the fact that I saw the land being cleared of the Junker property. Okay? There. It's all tied together back with a bow. Somehow. Unless you just joined us. WSICnews.com/real estate. WSICnews.com. You can see the market reports right there on the home screen. It's continuing to be the same reports in North Carolina. Is it the same, though, across the country? I'm hearing reports out of Texas. I'm seeing tweet. That when I say I'm hearing reports, that's my official news broadcaster way of announcing it. I saw it on my Twitter timeline. I saw on my Twitter timeline that there's more inventory now in certain parts of Texas. Texas is interesting. The demand is really high there, right? But they have so many square miles that they're building that they're going more, they're going out. They're building new frontiers. Is it almost time to build a new frontier here? I don't know. What quadrant? Which quadrant is next? I think Catawba County, right? Lincoln County's been moving, but like the next Catawba County is it. Publix came in, gosh, had it been like 7-8 years ago now. And look, they're hitting that mark. What do you think it is? A 10-year projection is what they were going for? They're about hitting the mark. Publix comes in like a vengeance. They're right there at 73, near Poplar Tent, right? Like Davidson, Concord Road, Highway 73, where those two come together. That's going to be a big corridor right there. How do I find myself always coming back to Laguna? Should I not do that? Mamie doesn't like it. Well, she says it doesn't fit. She said it didn't fit. That was her thing. I'll have to ask her more about that. Mamie Lee, who's on the co-host on Good Morning LKN with me 7 to 9 Monday through Friday. She has an opinion on it too. How many brokers are in the marketplace right now? I like looking up that number just randomly sometimes. I'll get the emails from the commission because I'm still a licensed broker. I still like knowing what's going on. So I'll get the reports and I'll get the also the disciplinary actions. Some of them are crazy. Every monthly publication, right, when you're licensed, as far as some type of age, right, there's a publication that puts out whether or not you had a disciplinary action against you. You'd hope you know if you're going to be in this publication, right? Like it's not like the announcement as if like, oh, I've just received public notice. It's after it's been done, right? So if you're just learning about it whenever you read the publication, you had a bigger problem. You definitely had a bigger problem. But they also talk about some of the numbers as well. Some of the numbers is throughout the marketplace as it relates to number of brokers. And that number I think is going to go down. And I'm going to have that. I'm going to tell you exactly what the number is when we on the next segment. There's a reason why. I'm trying to tease better. Trying not to tease too hard, but tease enough. I'll tell you about the brokers and the number of brokers during the next segment. At some point, brokers will have to drop off. And not because, let me think of the way to say this. Not by loss of license. That's not what I mean. I'm of the opinion, once you have a real estate license, do not let that thing go. You keep that thing forever. However, to be an active agent in the market, that is going to quickly drop off, as it already has been. And then, so the trend shows you, okay, there's like an amount that goes down on the licensing side. You can say, okay, it's going down then obviously in the active side in the marketplace. But the number of brokers that will come off the active side of this being their day-to-day. Unfortunately, growing up in a family of brokers, of a broker, my dad was a broker my whole life. 2008 was very real. That changes your perspective. And I didn't have to have a business. I didn't understand business at that point. I don't really understand business now. We leave that to the professionals. But the thought of the market right now and where it's at purely, and it's different though. It's not the same as 2008. Don't hear me comparing this to 2008 in the sense of, well, it's the trauma burn and all that. I see those national posts. North Carolina's demand is too high. It's outrageously high. But you can't, the wages perspective, the cost of expenses when you go to the grocery store, the real life, everyday things is what is keeping the market down. And down is relative. Down is relative. Are we off the 2021 Pico top? Of course we are. That's the, there's always the ripple. And then you can micro and macro out the ripple. I know I'm rambling. It's okay. We're coming close to the bottom of the hour already. Bloomberg Money Minute. We added that in because I wanted to find like a financial source to give like updated market data. I can't ask Joshua Adobe to like stop in every single day on every 20th and 50th of the hour. Just like I can't ask Joe Vagnone to just be here like for every business update that happens in the marketplace. But so like Joe Vagnone's business minutes, and then so we're also adding the Bloomberg Money Minutes because we want to provide you with that kind of content. The most up to date. Is it local? I mean, it's local to your phone if you've got like an app like for trading, if you day trade. Eventually with all this technology and AI, right? Aren't we just going to be like day trading the value of our municipalities? You think that's next? Government-wise, just buy bonds. I'm going to buy this specific market right now. It sounds like Tom Cruise is the star of this flick that I'm describing. What's Tom Cruise up to? He wasn't at the Grammys last night. Wait, no, Grammys aren't movies. It's music. Grammys are music. Real estate. How high did the value of MetLife Stadium go up? Did it go up astronomical today for the world since the World Cup? Is the value up? It's MetLife, right? It's at MetLife. It's in New Jersey, not New York. It's in New Jersey. Okay. Well, maybe the real estate shot up there. Charlotte. How about the Bank of America Stadium? Are we up on value on that still, just purely because of real estate, regardless of the status of the Carolina Panthers? I don't think we're down, because there's always going to be another team. I saw some stuff, too, in my timeline about the Hornets. Something about, like, that nobody cares. That's, like, the vibe that's being put out. Like, it's just a joke. I don't know how I feel about that. Is it just a joke? We don't like it if it's just a joke. Does that affect the value? Is that going to affect the value of my property here locally? You don't want no rundown arena in your city. You don't want that. Somebody's had that before, right? I mean, there's been plenty of rundown arenas. Wilkesboro just got a refresh, brand new pavement. I ordered me a little asphalt. They were slanging the asphalt that they pulled up. Ordered me a jar. Should be at my doorstep at some point soon. Ordered me a jar of asphalt. Said, let me get a little history in a jar. Trying to be about that life. Appreciate what was. Because I used to drive past that all the time. Wilkesboro Speedway on the way to App. I'd be driving down 421 and I'd see this old thing. I'd be like, man, how sweet would it be? Get me out here, Lightning McQueen, on a dirt track. They should have kept it dirt. Forget the asphalt. They should have gone dirt. Ripping and running. I forgot that about Charlotte Motor Speedway. They got a lot more than just, NASCAR. You been to ZMAX? You seen some drag racing yet? How about some motocross? You want the super motocross championship? You want that? You can get it. And we're surprised when there's demand in the marketplace. Look, and then I haven't even brought up the international airport. Why are we surprised? Why are we surprised? Today's Real Talk, the show focused on all things North Carolina real estate, business, and life. 844-STUDIO-4. I told you we've got some numbers on the amount of brokers in the market. We're going to look at some state data. Why not?
We'll be back with more of today's Real Talk, hosted by real estate attorney Justin Ckezepis in just a moment on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, here's the good news. It's going to be a while before we have to worry about any rain. The area staying dry for most of the work week. Partly cloudy skies today, still comfy for early February. High temperatures in the mid-50s. Back down around freezing overnight. A little cooler with low 50s on the way for Tuesday and Wednesday. Climbing back up towards 60, though, by the end of the week. And the rain chances making a return by the weekend. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I meteorologist Chase Myers.
You're all set with your Medicare prescriptions, Mrs. Brown.
This is not just low-cost copays at Walgreens.
I can actually help you set up 90-day refills if you want.
This is having a partner you can trust. Get low-cost copays, 90-day refills, and delivery from your neighborhood Walgreens. This is being independent. Together. Walgreens.
Restrictions apply. For details, see walgreens.com/pharmacy.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed? Because no two people sleep the same. Only the Sleep Number smart bed lets you each choose your individual firmness and comfort, your Sleep Number setting. The Climate 360 smart bed is so smart it actively cools or warms up to 13 degrees on either side for your ideal sleep temperature. J.D. Power ranks Sleep Number #1 in customer satisfaction with mattresses purchased in-store. And now save 40% on the Sleep Number Special Edition smart bed, plus free home delivery when you add an adjustable base. Ends Monday. For J.D. Power 2023 award information, visit jdpower.com/awards. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
Prioritizing your health is one of the best ways to take care of yourself. From routine visits to the joys of pregnancy to the illnesses that stop you in your tracks, Iredell Health System will be by your side. Learn more at iredellhealth.org.
Airlines have just reduced their prices even more. Book 30 days in advance and save big.
Want the absolute lowest prices on your airline tickets? Then call the Low Cost Airlines Travel Hotline right now for prices so low we can't publish them anywhere. The only way to access our low rates and save up to 70% is to call. Save hundreds on your vacation tickets by calling right now. You can fly anywhere in the world and pay discount prices on your airline tickets. Book a flight today to London, Paris, Madrid, or anywhere else you want to go. And pay a lot less guaranteed. Call the International Travel Department right now at Low Cost Airlines.
802-341-4541. 802-341-4541. 802-341-4541. That's 802-341-4541.
Hi, this is Joshua Dobie. Join me Thursdays at 4 p.m. for Dollars and Cents, a show that focuses on your personal financial journey and the markets around us. That's Dollars and Cents, Thursday afternoons at 4, here on WSIC.
Lowry Drug is a source for excellent pharmacy services. We have served the Statesville community since 1959. We have attentive customer service, a state-of-the-art compounding laboratory, and the Dispill medication packaging system that takes the work out of medication management for those using medication planners. We do it for you. Come see us at Lowry Drug in Statesville. Call 704-873-2247. Come see us.
Whatever the story,
we have to end our dependence on China.
Have your say.
This debt crisis is going to set our economy back big time.
This is WSIC. News, talk, now.
Packages start at $29.99 a month with sign agreement. Restrictions apply. Speak to a representative for complete offer details. See Vivint.com for license details. Terms and conditions apply.
Homeowners, if you're looking for the best in home security and smart home technology at a price you can actually afford, we have great news. Now you can get Vivint's award-winning home security systems starting at about $1 a day. U.S. News and World Report has recognized Vivint as the best professionally installed home security system of 2022. And right now, you can get Vivint's home security technology for about $1 a day. Plus, get free professional installation from a licensed technician. Protect your home and loved ones for as low as $1 a day. Call right now for your free home security consultation.
800-901-5563. 800-901-5563. 800-901-5563. That's 800-901.
It's today's Real Talk with Justin Ckezepis on 105.9 100.7 WSIC. Local starts here.
Today's Real Talk, the show focused on all things North Carolina real estate, business, and life. I was trying to do math in my head before coming back in, so I hesitated because wait a second, I was talking about brokers, number of brokers, active brokers, numbers going down. It's continuing. Yes and no. Okay, so let me say yes and no. I was right and I was wrong. Well, I was right and I was right. We'll figure it out. Number of active full brokers as of December 2023, 78,600. 78,600. We've got slightly more active full brokers now, but I have an explanation for it. It's a process to get your license. You do not get your license overnight. It is not an online application and then you are able to marry somebody. No, you can do that. You cannot do that with your real estate license. You have to go through a class. There's multiple layers of tests. There's one at the school level where you take it at. Yeah, they have real estate schools, real estate institutions where you get the license as far as from a course perspective. And then you've got a state test. So you've got multiple layers. There's a backlog, right? And sometimes there's catching up. And then there's a thing like if you fail and you can take it again, but you can't take it too many times. Otherwise, you got to go back and you got to take the class again. So that's why I would say as far as the active full, active provisional. But overall, we'll say numbers are going down. I think the number is going to continue going up as far as people with licenses. There are, again, a high demand for people to come into this marketplace. And so when people move here, business people even, that have brokerage license, they'll at some point get their license. But active in the marketplace and actually representing buyers and sellers, I think that number goes down. The demand as of right now is still astronomical compared to supply. There's absolutely, I don't even like saying way too many brokers. But there's way too many brokers. Like, I just mean that from a numbers perspective. I think the number goes down of active participants in the marketplace. Is that a bad thing? No. Is it a good thing? No. I don't know. I mean, it's a good thing in the sense of people just calm down on the phones. Not as much spam letters. But a bad thing in, it's jobs. And so people that claim and spend money and pay taxes and all that because of their job. Okay, well, there's a sector. Like the financial sector, they got hit hard. Right? Didn't tech got hit hard? Right? Isn't tech still getting hit hard? PayPal? UPS just laid off some peoples. The jobs are what matter. Because if we can increase wages in our local area, then we can afford the property. But again, how do you catch up with demand? When does supply catch up to demand, if ever? I don't think it does. That's the spoiler. That's the unfortunate part. I don't see an equation that doesn't include total despair and destruction for North Carolina to go down. That's it. Unless we go the route of land use planning 75 years down the road, it's not mine to worry about, kick the can. That's a different conversation. Setting the tone for a culture and a forward path for many years to come. That's very different. We are living in some of that. We always are. I mean, technically everybody is, right? Timeline, the stream of consciousness. Whoa. It's only Monday. I know. It's only Monday and we're already here. If you haven't listened to the morning show yet, Monday through Friday, 7 to 9 a.m. We're on IG Live at most mornings, too, for those social folks. I'm not saying we are right now, but something's been wonky. Anyway, there's all these places to get your content. You digest content differently now. If you didn't know that. Did you know that yet? You digest content than pre-COVID. Pre-Rona, the way things were done. I saw a video on my timeline. It was a video taken at a concert in 1999. And it said, look around. And like you look at the people, there's nobody with cell phones. Nobody, everyone's just talking to each other, having a good time. No technology. And you know what it was a meme for, right? The Apple Vision Pro. With people walking down the street, walking robot dogs wearing Apple Vision Pros walking down the street. What do you think about the Apple Vision Pro? I think it's gonna tie to Neuralink. Let's go super deep with it. Tied to Neuralink, and there, that's how it ends, people. iRobot. Will Smith was right. That is what the real beef between him and Chris Tucker at that awards ceremony was really about. Had nothing to do with Jada. Had everything to do with Neuralink. Are real estate prices tanking right now? I don't think so. No, the demand is going to continue. Jobs are the key, though. We've got to focus on jobs. It's the way to keep the marketplace surviving. The federal government. And look, I've got no... they're going to spend money. So Tom Tillis, Senator Tillis, is excited about the connection from Richmond to Raleigh. I'm not arguing with that. It's not cool for North Carolina. It's great. That's a lot of Washington coming into a state right now, though. And I that's where I get weary. That's where I say to myself from a long-term perspective, let's focus on the local. And so that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do here. You can join in anytime as Bill walks away from the phone to go get water. 844-STUDIO-4. 844-788-3464. A lot going on in the world right now. Real estate prices aren't going down. That's what that you won't see in the headline for North Carolina locally. Is it happening in other places? There are deals out there too. I think I need to clarify that before I go into a whole price rant on other places like it's any of my business. Because right here on the home front, there are deals to be had. If you go new construction right now, that is the clear front runner of best deals to be had in the marketplace. You got to think long term on it though, and long term is relative. Figure 7 to 10 years. Put 7 to 10 years in your mind as far as a value of that house. If you're able to first-time home buy on something new like this, that's at a 5.5% interest rate, that's fixed, and then maybe in 7 years, 3 to 5, call it, increase your income and then go get another property. I like that plan. One of those decisions I think back to is like selling a previous property that I had. I wish I hadn't done it, but I had to at the time. I had to at the time, way back when, and it was a decision I made in hindsight's 2020. Of course, it was pre-COVID. If I could go back to pre-COVID, I'd buy everything I possibly could. Who wouldn't right now in this market? Gosh, but I'm seeing a lot more trucks too. Commercial projects are something to be on the lookout for. What's going to happen to ones that have started? They're continuing. Again, when I drive to Charlotte, I said this at the beginning of the show. When I sometimes drive to Charlotte, I see more cranes than ever. More cranes than I've ever seen. And I've been here since 94. Let me be clear. I wasn't born here, but my parents moved here when I was very, very, very young. That's all I remember. So 94 is when I came to Charlotte. And so the Lake Norman area has continued to grow since as well. Does it slow down? We already know the answer to that. But what does that mean for some of these other local products that are going on? There's a lot of talk about schools right now. Get into the cost of building a school. Is there an equation there for us? Is there something we can work on? Iredell County, it's a big talk right now about this. Something to do with a high school, Statesville High School. People know about this. I don't. I hear murmurs. Something about a high school in Statesville. I don't know all the stuff. You want to hear some drama? Come down to Huntersville and see the Laguna project. I ended up back at it again. How did I do that? I shouldn't do that. 844-STUDIO-4, 844-788-3464. Oh, here we go. Bill's pulling up articles now. Here we go. Shout out to the Iredell Free News. I'm going to reach out to them and meet. I want to meet with them. Just to say hey. Wow. A lot going on. I can't read this article. I'm on the radio right now. Bill's got me out here reading about the Iredell commissioners to consider plan to borrow $40 million to help pay for construction of new Iredell Statesville High School. There you go. Another 40 mil. Good thing sports gambling is going to be legal here soon, right? Because we got to pay for this education somehow. It's only money. That's it. And this is today's Real Talk, the show focused on North Carolina real estate, business, and life. 844-788-3464 is the number. If you want to tell me I'm wrong, maybe.
Keep it right here. Today's Real Talk with Justin Ckezepis will return after this short break on 105.9, 100.7 WSIC.
Well, here's the good news. It's going to be a while before we have to worry about any rain across the area. Staying dry for most of the work week. Apartment cloudy, skies today, still comfy. Early February, high temperatures in the mid-50s. Back down around freezing overnight, a little cooler, with low 50s on the way for Tuesday and Wednesday. Climbing back up towards 60, though, by the end of the week. And the rain chances making a return by the weekend. That's your forecast from the WSIC Weather Center. I'm meteorologist Chase Myers.
Here is your WSIC community calendar. Merlefest is back, April 25th through the 28th at Wilkes Community College, featuring nearly 100 performers, including Old Crow Medicine Show, Turnpike Troubadours, the Teskey Brothers, Nickel Creek, and more. Tickets and information at merlefest.org. Listen each morning to Good Morning LKN for your chance to win tickets. Mooresville Parks and Recreation is excited to bring The Great Magician Murder Mystery Dinner Theater to the Charles Mack Citizen Center, Saturday, February 10th. This is not your usual murder mystery experience. An evening of theater and mystery that will have you laughing and gasping. The Great Magician Murder Mystery Dinner Theater, Saturday, February 10th. For more info, visit ourtownstage.com. Want to attend the Charlotte Home and Remodeling Show? Throughout the day, you have your chance to win tickets. Listen to Good Morning LKN, the Home Ad Show, the News Drive at 5, and the Scoreboard. Each show gives you your chance to win. The Charlotte Home and Remodeling Show, February 23rd through the 25th. Looking for a night of bluegrass and Americana? Darren and Brooke Aldridge are coming to Kane Center for the Arts Friday, February 9th. This husband and wife team are celebrating their 9th recorded project together, This Life We're Living. Darren and Brooke Aldridge, Kane Center for the Arts, Friday, February 9th. KaneArts.org. That's CAIN Arts.org. Have an event you would like to tell people about? Yard sales, estate sales, and everything in between? Visit WSICnews.com and click on events to submit your event today.
Today's Real Talk continues now. Here's your host, licensed real estate attorney Justin Ckezepis on 105.9 100.7 WSIC.
Iredell County Board of Commissioners on Tuesday will consider a request from the Finance Department to begin the process of borrowing up to $40 million to help pay for construction of Weathers Creek High School. Reading this right now on the Iredell Free News, IredellFreeNews.com. It's going to be so hard to catch up on pricing on anything, on any project. Look, we can pick the school, we can pick government, town halls, we can pick anything. We can pick any project that was and still needs to be. Look at Catawba Avenue. Look at Highway 150. Look at Highway 73. It's light work right now. Y'all mad right now? Y'all mad right now? We talk about practice. We talk about practice right now. I used to watch basketball. $200 million to build a school. That seems crazy. That number, like we care about schools. It's $200 million. Like, really? $200 million? That gets you a hefty complex in the construction world. I mean, in reality, you could build, gosh, back in the day in the prime, right spot, 25 million gets you probably 250 units. If it was in the prime. And so now, you're talking about $200 million to build one school in a district, which includes every district, by the way. I'm beyond Iredell Statesville right now. Every district needs more, is already behind and needs more. So you're going to fill a gap that exists currently when the demand is higher than ever. It makes sense. No, I get it. Kick the can, baby. 75-year master plan. That's where I'm going. That's where I'm shooting down. It's a 3-ball, so you got to go way down, though. It's a 3-ball. That's what it is. So we'll see. I hope it happens. We need them. We also need more teachers. We do need more teachers. There's so much need out there. This whole concept, I don't even want to, man, I'm just about to go down this rabbit hole. The concept of individualized education plans, IEPs, that's what it's called. If you got a kid who might have an IEP, you might have. My wife's a kindergarten teacher. She has been since we were married. She puts up with me every day. this IEP concept of a child needing to be labeled in order to receive services. Does school affect real estate? Absolutely it does. That's like a huge topic when any buyer's looking. And there's like some rules too, and I won't go down the rabbit hole on that and calling anything out as far as like what a broker's allowed to say about schools and things like that. There's a whole game there. There's a whole game there. You don't want to deal with that. But schools are very relevant to the real estate in our local markets. Even if it's an entire market of retirees, still relevant. You got to have good schools. So have one school then. Just make it the best school ever. That's okay. But schools are very important. And we need more options for kids. It's just the reality. We have to. Public school can't service everybody. It's impossible. It's impossible. So accept it and let's make a deal. That's what it is. It's time to make a deal. We as a society, we have to make a deal on this stuff. There's need everywhere. And if you can have a balance, that's a great thing. And again, I'll tie it back to real estate. It's good for everybody. It's a win. I want every kid to have the opportunity to learn about all the tools that exist out there. Man, if I could go back, I bet, and my dad probably would say it to my dad passed in 2017, but if he could say it too right now, he probably would say, go back and learn every bit of the IRS code. Because if you knew how to play the game, you could play it any way you want, real estate included. It's an entire section devoted, there's multiple sections for real estate in the IRS code. Don't let anybody ever shame you on learning how the game is played, because that's the stuff that matters. So I like trades, and I like the support of trade schools and alternative education options for kids to get learning opportunities and experiences. There's so much out there. I've got a buddy who just made an app. Here, I'll shout him out. Matt Wyckoff. He made an app called Your Student. I should do a way better job of promoting this. But he can get you connected in the industrial space, right? If you like welding, if you like all that kind of electrical, if you like all that stuff, they have resources and they can get you connected directly with employers from the jump, from when you're 18. That's not a bad gig. That's not bad. So how much is it good? It's good, though, having good universities locally. We want that, too, but college costs money, too. So having options at that level. There's some good teams around here. The Duke-UNC rivalry, do people still care about that? Is that still a thing? The Tar Heels and the Blue Devils? I think that's still popular, right? Chapel Hill taking over Franklin Street. Saw some vids on the timeline, the TL. And, I was glad I was in my bed, snuggied up, fast asleep. That's where I was. Don't know about you when that went down. Are you going to be up for the Super Bowl? MetLife Stadium, though, and this, I know I'm switching to soccer now, but MetLife Stadium, that's where everybody tears their ACL. I did see a post on that, and then Bill also reminded me of that. That's where a bunch of people get hurt. I'm not saying that's going to happen at the World Cup. I'm just saying it happens. Of course they're going to bring in a separate field. They're bringing in grass for the Super Bowl, aren't they, this weekend? I'm pretty sure they're bringing in custom grass. It's Drum Landscape Supplies, Jason's turf blend, right? They are bringing in grass. They are bringing in grass. I spread Jason's seed in my yard in the fall after I aerated. And so we'll see how it looks in the spring. I'm excited about that. Shout out to Jason Drum. Are you trying to buy right now in the market, or are you just renting? It's probably both. Why not? You could just do both. That was what the problem was in 2008, was they would just hold a mirror up and say, okay, breathe into this. And if it had, fog on it, here's a loan. That's what was going on. Now you can't. Now they're like, nope, under lock and key. See this? Not having it. No way. So that's why I don't worry as much of a fallout in that sense. Not going to go down the world event. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, though everything you read on the internet is true. I don't do conspiracies. At least not now. Maybe during the morning show, 7 to 9 a.m., Monday through Friday. Good morning, LKN. At least somebody else is in the room that tries to rein me in as best as she possibly can. Maybe leave. All right, so $200 million for a school, not bad. Let's put, how much forward should we put for schools, Bill? How many schools do you want to build? 10? You don't have to say, just hold up a number. How many you want to build? 6. 6 times $200 million. $1.2 billion. You good with that? Hesitant. He gave me the thumbs up. I got the King Arthur thumbs up on that one. All right, $1.2 billion approved. I just approved $1.2 billion for you to build schools, Bill. Now here's the fun part. Go build it. Go spend the money. Go do it. Oh, but you got to spend the money on the project. You have to spend the money on the project. They've been sitting on the money for a while. It's hard, and this is the bureaucracy side, right? Like going through the motions, and I got to go out and get bids. I got to do all this. I got to wait for approvals and committees and all that. The management of government, it's always going to be a factor. That's the other thing. Number one, like I said, everything you read on the internet is true. Number two, the government is the best manager there ever will be. Two key facts that if you learn that and you get in line, you'll live life like everybody else. That's it. That's what you can do. Those two things. Does that affect my real estate value? Probably not. No, because there's micros and macros to this entire marketplace. I think we're good. I think we're in for the long haul, but I think if you're going to make a decision, you got to make a decision. And that's okay. Shoot your shot, baby. Don't hold back. Why not? Because when it's all done, when that song stops, what song would it be? What song is going to stop? I always think about that. I don't want to get morbid with it, but like what's the last song you're going to hear? Dang. Maybe it's Ice Spice. She's a thing, right? Is she really? She's out here. She's doing stuff. She's the people's queen. Is that the people's queen? The people's princess. My apologies. I am not up on this. I did see Luke Combs singing with Tracy Chapman, Fast Cars, at the Grammys. I didn't watch it during the Grammys. Fast Car. I didn't watch it during the Grammys. Caught it on my TL this morning. Laying in bed. Waking up. I think Luke is a great singer. I am impressed with Tracy for not wearing the in-ear monitors and for just getting up there and playing her song. That's a cool move. That's not easy to do. And so she did it, and she had a good time, it looked like. I didn't watch the rest of it. I saw Jay-Z's dreads also. Is that relevant to my real estate marketplace? Maybe. Are dreads in? Yeah, dreads are always in. Definitely. At one point, I did wish I could grow dreads. I just can't. I can't. All right. What do you think the future is for the marketplace here? This is the homework assignment until next Monday. This is the homework assignment until next Monday. You're just going to drive around because you're going to do that anyway. And you're going to look at all the signs. And I want you to see in commercial and residential, make a little tally in your mind. Commercial, residential, commercial, residential. How many properties are for sale? Do you see a lot for sale around? It's telltale signs of the future of the market. Because stuff's going to sell, and how much is selling, and what kind of property is selling. We need something. We have to increase somewhere. So how much? How much residential? How much commercial? How much do you guys want to grow? Let's go ahead and negotiate it now. Let's get it out of the way. But here's the thing. This is a 75-year plan. So we're talking in millions of units. That's our reference point right now for North Carolina. We're talking about millions of units, let's say over the course of 75 years. Can we play that game? How quickly do we get to the number? That's a whole nother question. Could you imagine being 75 years from now and still being beholden to a particular agreement? Could you imagine? Well, why don't we change? They're all dead anyway. You don't think that would happen? I mean, that's definitely what would happen, right? Mutiny? Mutiny? Is there going to be a mutiny this year? Maybe. Today's Real Talk.
The new 105.9, 100.7 WSIC, Statesville, Mooresville, North